Greetings and welcome to a Monday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is January 26th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing all right. I would say it would be Victory Monday, but other events this weekend, kind of put a damper on a great Illini showing on Saturday.
Basketball.
Basketball. Yeah, beat Purdue. But
you did beat Purdue.
A lot of other stuff happened. So
not a dispiriting weekend, I guess is what I would say, and not an uplifting one. Concerning one more than anything. I didn't realize you guys beat Purdue.
Yeah, we had our freshman went for 46 on 18 shots.
46 points? College basketball?
Insane.
That's good. I was looking. There's a lot of just really good college basketball teams at this stage. Like a lot of 1 to 3 loss teams, like 15-2, 15. There's it seems like a really strong year. Maybe parity, but a lot of really strong teams.
You'd like this guy. His name's Keaton Wagler. So he was a 3-star recruit.
Okay.
So didn't get he only had 2 D1 offers, and the first one came from Illinois. Then when I think Minnesota offered him when they heard Illinois offered him.
Is he from Chicago?
No, Kansas.
Yeah, okay.
He was the player of the year, but the reason nobody knew about him was he didn't do any of the high profile AAU.
Love it. Played my 25 high school games.
He played. Apparently, his AAU team, which he was on a local AAU team, not like one of the would kick the asses of these big high AAU teams. But anyways, this kid's gone from people wondered if he would play to he might be like a top 5 pick now.
That's the context where I'd seen the name. You got to put him on your board now. He's like a prospect, top prospect. Interesting.
He's awesome.
It's a great story.
Certifiably awesome at basketball.
Give that guy a raise. Whoever, if it's Underwood or whoever it was that went to Kansas.
I think it was his kid. So
really?
Nepotism wins.
There you go. Love it.
Big win for nepotism.
Speaking of kids, Bennett Scheffler had another occasion to run around on the green. He's running. He's scampering. I don't run. It's probably too strong. He's scampering out there. It's more than just plopping him down. He is full blown. He's sprouted. He's not a houseplant anymore. He's a full human being. He might remember this.
Did you hear them talking about how great all these memories are going to be for him when he's older?
I heard
There's
you guys.
There's going to be no memories. I've got a 5-year-old and she can't remember past some stages of 4.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great memory for the parent to share with their child. Smiley made a good point about that. I never got to win my kid run it. But the kid
Bennett's going to have no memories of this.
He might as well be in the middle of a playground at that point. He doesn't know. He could be. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I didn't realize that. He doesn't. He's not going to have any memories. I'm sorry. He's not. He'll have the pictures you can look back on. There'll be videos, lots of stuff like that. But yeah, no memories. Scottie Scheffler. We're recording this shortly after his victory in Palm Springs. It was a dominant victory. The Rams and Seahawks are playing right now. You are already seem a little torn up. You guys, your Bears should be playing in this spot, but we're just going to record right through it, maybe to take your mind off of it, take your attention off of it. We'll see. Maybe the Seahawks whip their ass anyways, and it wouldn't have mattered, but we'll see.
I know the Bears would have gotten through the AFC. That's one thing I do know.
I mean, that's guy keeping his card because he won. He got a T5 in Punta Cana and a T3 at Corrales and a T1 or T2 at Cuda and Isco. I don't know. I mean, the Patriots have had enough success this century. I guess you could be happy for them. I'm not dissatisfied for it or mad about it, but it's a fraud. It's a fraudulent path. Let's just call it what it is. Completely fraudulent. They could win the Super Bowl, but not really the grueling test.
The whole season's been this way.
Totally. Completely. like a
the
joke.
good news is, for PJ, he could always dream that Mike Vrabel could have been the Jets coach, and this could be PJ with a Justin Fields-led Jets team.
Well, I don't think that part's true. But Mike Vrabel did, in fact, interview for the Jets job first and was in the building, and then the Patriots correctly, fired Jared Mayo to make this happen. So I don't think Justin Fields was changing anything, but would have been nice.
I mean, I do find Vrabel incredibly likable. Northeast Ohio's on. He's a great coach. Seems like a great coach to play for. Anyways, we're getting derailed here into Football Minute. Scottie Scheffler was the toast of the town. He did something he's never done before. He won in his debut. Like, that was supposed to be a thing. Well, you've never done this before. Does this mean you might have the best year of your career? Because you won.
He never won at the AmEx either.
In January 25th. Oh, well, great. I don't know. I mean, he's the best player in the world. He tees it up and he wins. We've done this podcast for 6-7 years now. This is the first time where, and we talked about this, I think, at CJ Cup, where it's like, all right, another Monday pod. What's the new thing we come up with about Scotty? And I'm not suggesting we're trying to fake it here, but
I've got some new stuff for you.
What do you? I have a few nuggets, but it's expected, and he goes and does what's expected. And whether it's a birdie fest or it's Portrush or it's Augusta or a tough Memorial tournament, I think that's kind of what's pretty impressive about his mindset. And when winning is an era when winning is so hard. It's a very, very rare, unique mindset and motivation that he just locks in. It could be at La Quinta or it could be at Augusta National, and he's locked in.
Do you guys regret going under your 6.5 on the 6.5 wins total?
No, I'm not going to get one. He's 1 for 1. I obviously not, it's a tough start if you're going under. But no, long season.
Guys, these two, for the listeners, PJ and Brendan, we were doing over-unders. They didn't believe in Scottie Scheffler this year. They were fading Scheffler because they went under the 6.5.
Oh, my God. He's going to win 6 times. We're fading the guy.
He might win all 4 majors. He could win all 4, and then we're fading him.
And guess what? That would only be 5 wins if he did.
Yes. No, I don't regret that necessarily, but would it shock me to see him win more than 7 or more? No, of course not. It's the 20th win of his career, and it comes in his 151st start. Every time Scotty wins, it's going to be like a Justin Ray fest, and it should be. Justin Ray does great work. The broadcast, he got on the board Saturday night would join Jack and Tiger, has 4 majors, 20 wins. On before they're 30, that stat joins Jack and Tiger, and then that got picked up and just hammered on the broadcast. So that's pretty elite company with Jack and Tiger. It's his 14th win in 35 starts. This is all via Justin Ray Golf on Twitter. Follow him. Rate of 40% win rate in his last 35 starts. I mentioned the Jack and Tiger. Also, every time, I think he's 9 for his last 9. This is, one more. If he's 1 behind the lead or on the lead, has the lead, he's gone 9 for 9 entering the final round. So he wins if he's close. I
think that was my takeaway from today is just how, Siwoo is there, Blades is there. I don't think anybody really expected, Blades to win in that situation. But you see these guys that are there. They're right there. Siwoo gets off to a fine start. But then eventually Scotty just melts them away. And it's the pressure. I think the thing about Scotty in these final rounds is his baseline is above average tour play. And it's exceptionally hard to play above average tour play in the final group on the PGA Tour. That's an uncomfortable place. Mm-hmm. And that's a hard place to get comfortable enough to play above average play. If you're in the final group of a PGA Tour event and, you're in that final group, if you play average, I think a lot of guys are happy about average play. But Scottie Scheffler in like what's happening, I think, is like these guys look at Scotty. They know he's not going to hurt himself. And you saw that today. Like, he just took care of business. He hit it close a bunch of times. If there was water for the most part outside of 17, he just aimed away and then almost chipped in every time.
Yeah.
And that is the recipe. And he knows he's going to run into a bunch of birdies. And these guys are, to play above average final round play in the last group. I wish I had a data golf stat to back me up here, but to play above average play in the final group is like playing out of your mind for a lot of guys on tour. And in this case, with it being Amex and, there being an okay field, the only way Scotty was going to get stopped this week was if there was like a bona fide star up at the top that could match him, and there wasn't. And it's just remarkable to watch.
Shoots 66 in that final round, 8 birdies
with a double.
I enjoyed that. I kind of had fun. I'm glad and it was like a bad, like it wasn't like, it hit the edge and then got bounced, rejected. He hit it in the middle of the hazard, kind of. It flared the 8 iron. I enjoyed that just to have a little fun.
I wanted, I wanted to deliver a Nico minute early here because when he rinsed it, I don't know if you guys saw this. On Saturday,
I did.
What happened to Nico?
3 in the drink. Yeah, he went from
Nico is like in contention, kind of like
it was double on 16.
He was being shown on TV,
right?
Which means that you're somewhere. I think he was on 16T. He was 15 under for the tournament. In the third round, it was obviously a 54-hole cut this week.
Yep.
So Nico he doubles 16, a par 5, so he makes a 7 there, and then he goes to 17 Alcatraz and makes it 9. They were joking about like they didn't know what to call it. It's not a snowman. It's not a quintuple. It's like, were you afraid to say sextuple? Is that like taboo to say sextuple? That's or did I think it was Byram? Did he not know that it was sextuple? Was the like Google either way? What are we doing? So, anyways, he goes 7-9. Shoots on his way to an 81. He made 2 7s and a 9.
The first one was long and. I don't know if that green was harder. It looked hard. Nico
it was going downwind.
Looked like concrete. Okay. And so the two from the drop zone.
It was interesting. In that late afternoon, the wind actually picked up. And it was like, wow, Palm Springs with wind is kind of fun.
Interesting. Yeah, there's some now today, nothing.
No, it was back to dome.
But yeah,
there's a lot of football tweets about, God, I wish this game was in, a 72-degree glass enclosed, stadium.
As it was blizzarding in Denver, and
I think it was. They were all sarcastic tweets,
right?
Because of the proliferation of domes.
It was cool. Yeah, Lamani and I are working on a little thing about that.
The Gary Bears might be a dome team.
That's what it's got to be. I would think. Scotty says he didn't even hit it that good this week. He was fine. It was okay. Like you're talking about, his baseline is really like better than almost everybody. And his wedges were good, really good on Sunday. But like his misses were the right side, as you suggested. His chipping, I thought, was very strong. Like it looked like he was from multiple catch basins, looked like he was about to jar it every time, just tracking right in the hole. So his chipping was excellent. His wedges were really good. And his ball striking, allegedly, his iron play was like, okay, it was all right. And it's just a laugher. It's a laugher. And, he hits one in the water at the 71st hole that kind of, did you think the Nico redo was coming? And it was,
that was my only hope for entertainment down the stretch. I wrote this down like the 13th hole.
Yeah.
In my notes is like the only drama on this back nine. And this is the back nine of a tournament that is notoriously impossible to separate yourself, right? Like why we get so many great finishes here and exciting tournaments is because like there's not a lot of places, as you saw, like you hit it offline and into the rough, and it's just like, there's very rarely bad lies because it's dormant Bermuda. If you hit it, 20 yards away from the green, as Scotty got numerous times, the ball bounces off a containment bound and runs right down to the hole, right? Like it's hard. It's a hard place because of the lack of teeth, tee to green, to separate yourself. And here on the back nine, the only drama on the back nine today is Scotty going to break the Nick Dunlap scoring record? Like that's the storyline. It's either the Tiger Jack 20 wins and 4+ majors under the age of 30.
Yeah.
Which was brought up by Justin Ray. Important citation.
Yeah.
Or it was that, or
the 29 under.
The 20 the some ridiculously pointless scoring record.
Who cares? Yeah.
On a rotation of courses that's been around for 6 years?
Not a lot. It's changed a lot over the years.
Those are the only two stories in a full field PGA Tour event on the back nine. It's wild.
I guess the one thing I've thought about, where does Scotty, what is the biggest challenge for Scotty? We see him win these birdie fests. We see him win opens. We see him be pretty, I guess when you get like real wind, it could cause some problems, but like that causes problems for everybody. You see him with some of the Pinehurst thing, although I think we sort of over-index on some of that where he could have just had like a bad Friday. You just wonder, like, this is sort of the Tiger thing where there's no holes in the game. Where's he not going to fit well? Shinnecock? Is that what we're suggesting? Like his finishes at U.S. Opens have been pretty good.
There's nowhere he doesn't fit well.
When you look at the year, you don't. There's nothing.
The wind, I would say, wind on like a tough golf course is just going to amplify his skill. And we saw that at Portrush with some of the shots he hit
Saturday.
And I'm thinking about that like low cut fade into six that he hit. Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not a shot that a lot of guys have just like on command. I think the only thing that gets in the way of Scotty is if he doesn't feel like something's right.
He's using an old driver.
Like Scotty, and this is so much of golf is like the vast majority of golf is getting out of your own way. But really, though, I think the only thing that right now that stops Scotty is himself. And the scary thing I think about Scotty is he's not one that's like prone to get himself in loads of trouble. He's not, you think about like what derailed Tiger, and it's like mostly himself.
Yeah.
Like, and choices that he made. You think about Victor Hovland, we saw, hey, is he the best player in the world? Then he undergoes a swing change right after. That's himself getting in his own way.
Martin Keimer.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
But like the early, this isn't the early, the signs on Scotty just works on the same stuff.
Yeah.
He's extraordinarily boring. And he seems content just like hanging out, which in the terms of playing extremely high level golf, that's like the best thing you can be.
I guess
it's predictable, consistent.
He'll play next at the Phoenix Open. I guess we're at the era of like, does this change anything you think about him? No. It's an AmEx. It's an impressive mark, right? It's a Justin Ray mark. It's a 20 is a round number. It's that kind of thing that he's going to accomplish at things like American Express and Phoenix Open. If he wins 4 events this year but no major, is that a failure? Like, no. It's sort of like what does playing and winning these events at this point do other than just rack it up, because we know he is far and away the best in the world.
It's rack it up and continue to put fear in competition.
Yeah.
I just thought about like realistically, who has the best chance of stopping Scottie Scheffler right now is ICE. A rogue ICE agent might be the only one that could stop him. But
I mean, he's already been jailed once, for God's sakes. He's already been jailed once.
Where it popped into my head is that's probably him having his cell phone camera out and encountering an ICE agent is probably the only thing that could stop him right now. But the thing that about Scotty is that all of this, the reason why he keep playing these events, keep winning, and he's just inflicting more and more psychological damage on his peers.
Yeah, I think that you're right. That's what it is. It's sort of like the continued psychological fear factor that you create when you're in the field and you're close. Let alone
you think about it as like guys teed it up this week, and the guys that are really aware of some guys play golf completely clueless. Some guys are very aware of like the course and how their games fit. This week had to have more guys excited about taking on Scotty than at any other course, in the sense like I can compete with him here because I'm getting a lot of wedges, and I'm gonna hit a lot of good wedges. And nobody had a chance on the back nine.
No chance. There was some stuff about the driver. He's using a 2-year-old or 2 version old model, the QI10, I think it is. 35 was last year. There's a new one. The
QI10 came after the one that the face broke after like every 10 swings, right?
I can't keep track. Was that McTwisty face? No, it was after McTwisty face. I think that was
Stealth 2. Stealth 2 was the one that cracked every 10 swings. And then QI10 came out.
The college kids would travel duffel bags of extra faces because they didn't have tour rev. This is not a thing. I don't care. This says nothing bad about TaylorMade. The best player in the world is comfortable. Why would you want him to switch? Is the new driver every bit as good? Maybe better? Sure. Fine. TaylorMade makes great stuff. Their tour reps are like awesome, I think. They're probably great. Like, just let the best guy play what he's comfortable with. That doesn't mean the new one's a lemon. Like, I don't care. It's not a scandal. It's nothing big to me, but
it's something to talk about. It's something to talk about.
It's never made sense that the guy who's like absolutely in full flight all of a sudden should start, throwing with his left hand if you're somebody like a quarterback. It doesn't he's working it. He's just let it be. It doesn't mean the new thing's a lemon. That's fine. Anyways, he's not using his current driver, but that was in articles over the weekend. Anything on Blades Brown? Pretty impressive. He set his own record. First guy, I think this is from a Brentley article. First player in modern PGA Tour history, I believe, which, their history is a little suspect, as we know, to play 8 PGA Tour sanctioned rounds in as many days. First player in the modern era because he went from Abaco and he used a 1-flight credit. He had 5,000 5-hour credit with 1 flight, private charter company, which he cashed in from finishing top 50 in the PGA Tour debut year in Myrtle. You get a 5-hour credit. That's pretty good. That's a nice perk. Go play that Myrtle Beach event if you finish top 50.
Do you think it's too late to get into the influencer exemption?
Yeah. Get on that.
Should I get in that just so I could go? I could eliminate 1 red eye if I win Myrtle Beach this year or whatever.
Get top 50. You get 1 flight. So he cashed that 5-hour credit. Went from Abaco to Palm Springs, and he's in the final group. Plays 8 PGA Tour sanctioned rounds in 8 days, I believe, is what it was. And first time in the modern era. Congrats to Blades Brown. Did not get his top 10 exemption in the next event. I don't know if regression's the right word, but he didn't play his best on Sunday in the spotlight.
I think that's just an 18-year-old in a different moment.
Sure.
It wasn't, he wasn't terrible today, but I think that what you saw is what illustrates the difficulty of playing on the PGA Tour is that the second you have a mediocre round, you fall from second place to, 18th or 19th did he finish?
I think it was 18th. He shot 74. 3 putted the last. 18, T18. So, super impressive. The tour is going to lean into him and milk that for everything that it's worth. Like, he does seem built a little different, really impressive. Kind of mixed up some trajectories with the wedges. Obviously, had to hit some different shots, some bunker shot. I thought he had some like crafty shot making. Like, you have to be a real. I mean, he was a medalist at the USAM as a 16-year-old guy. Obviously, has an insane talent.
The play on Friday and Saturday was awesome. I mean, the finish on Saturday was so cool to see an 18-year-old just dealing like the way, like, I think like you hear these players, and I mean, when we had Rory on or near the holidays, he talked about like this, like capturing that youthful exuberance of playing golf, and like you see him playing rock paper scissors with a fan, and then he goes and makes the putt. Like,
that was cool.
That's kind of what, you know, and I think as you get older, you lose obviously some of that, and but I mean, Blades is it's going to be fascinating to watch. I mean, the reality of the, you know, as great of a week as it was for him, like, he didn't get that much for it. Obviously, he gets a nice T18 check, but no exemption into next week, and no, not like a heaping ton of FedEx Cup points that would make him a shoo-in to go for that special temporary membership. So I think like the crazy thing about this is, as cool as it was, as big of a story as it was, is it's kind of like right back to the grind, you know?
Yeah.
That's one of the beauties of golf.
Yep. Got KFT status. That's where he's at. Impressive. The tour is going to lean into him. That's going to be a big, if you know, he can break through, but anytime he's present for an event on some exemption, they're gonna go big on Blades content. Super seems like a good kid. Super impressive.
BP, did you go Gerard this week?
I went Gerard last week, so he's runner up again, and runner up at Mauritius.
Took him this week.
So yeah, I took who did I take this week? I think I took BG, Ben Griffin. I leaned into him. So yeah, Gerard and Jason Day are your runners up. Oh, Matt it became a traffic jam. McCarty, Andrew Putnam.
Fighter of the night, man. Dayman's getting ready for Tory. That's Dayman Alley.
Day City, yeah. McCarty, Andrew Putnam also runner up. Putnam was like the main challenger, basically, it felt like, for the first, I don't know, 2-3 hours of the broadcast. He started going low, but petered out with
then he put it in reverse on the back nine.
Yeah, that's your AmEx. So Scotty dominance, great for the tour. I think when your best player is like dominant and the very, very, very unquestionably best in the world, certainly the first top person we've ever had at this podcast where it's like, you know, another win. What's new? What's different? How do you capture like exactly what he's doing other than the marks he's just racking up? So that one was impressive for a multitude of reasons, which we've outlined.
We gotta follow up here.
What?
5 guys to monitor this week.
Zalatoris top 20.
Yeah, T18 on a course that, you know, would not be one that you would just like pull out and say this is a good one. Other, you know, one I want to just, you know, call it. We called it. We said to watch Scottie Scheffler this week.
Out on that limb.
We went way out on a limb there. Christo Lamprecht. I don't know what happened with Christo.
He was near DFL for the second straight week. Not a good situation.
Maybe worth watching then.
That's twice in a row.
Ludwig, maybe this is a curse. He WDs.
Yeah.
Do you know what the reason was for that?
No.
Illness. We got to get that boy some multivitamins. He gets sick every year now.
Yeah.
This same week too.
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was.
No, it was
the first
Tory.
Yeah, which would have been this conference championship weekend. Interesting. Was Hoey one too? Another WD? I forget who your 5 guys.
I can't remember.
It was Pepe Peter was the 5th. Seeing if you would take some inspiration from Fernando. I don't think you did.
I have a toasty tale.
Oh, please tell us, toasty tale.
All right, this is in Hawaii. There's a steel pole cemented right before the bridge to stop carts from crossing. He looks at his caddy and says, "Do you think I can kick that pole over?" And the caddy says, "No." Toasty goes, "Watch this." He takes a couple steps and kicks it super hard, and he falls down as the pole doesn't budge. He laughs and walks to the next tee. Then, before anyone tees off, he looks at his caddy and says, "Do you think I could kick that cooler?" Caddy goes, "Oh, yeah, definitely." Goes, "Watch this." Sprints off the tee and flying kicks the cooler and ice, and the water everything goes everywhere. The volunteers are like, "What the fuck?" But then they start going over there to clean up, and Toasty goes, "Everybody stop! It's my mess, and I'll clean everything." And he cleans it up and then hits his next shot.
He is egalitarian like that. He does. He's a man of the people. That's what a Toasty. What's he doing? He's gonna get hurt trying to knock over these giant poles cemented in the ground.
Also, an amateur. I heard rumors that an amateur described his temper this week as crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. So there's your toasty
He runs
minute.
hot. He had a mess at Alcatraz. I think it was Thursday or Friday. He just chopped one over he was in the rocks and then tried to hit it off the rocks and it went way over the green into the water. So the toast man, he's flying around, just leaving his plane in lakes, trying to kick over coolers. We're off to a hot start. All right. That does it for Amex. A nice opening salvo. I don't know how many people watched it while football was on, but Scotty winning is about as good as it gets for the Amex.
Well, Scotty did America a favor, and they said you don't have to choose, and you don't really have to watch this because I'm going to just end the tournament on the 6th hole.
All right. Well, one thing you should watch is go to Beadratty. Watch for Beadratty, new releases. I open all their emails. They're one of the few e-commerce website emailers that I always open. Everyone. They I don't know. They hook me. They've been rolling out new releases. They've got this coastal collection. I might be going to Florida a couple times here in the next I don't know, month or two. Very excited about that. I'm gonna check out this new coastal collection. They've got this new crew neck sweater, the Cabana Crew. I have my eyes on that. If you have your eyes on anything, the code SGS30, it gets you 30% off at checkout. They've been, this is our first one, I guess, of 26. They've been with us from the beginning. This is more than just a ad deal, or this is a partnership. We've grown thanks in part to their support over the years. They've obviously grown and gone many, many places. I'm looking at their website now. The stuff they make, what they've diversified is really good. And we know the people behind it. We know the guy's name that's on the clothes. He is a real human being. It's not made by 100 different designers and rolled off conveyor belts in faraway lands. Thought goes into everything they do, and they're worthy of your support. Whether it's just their bread and butter, Peruvian Pima cotton polo like the Liam, or some of their new stuff. You go to beadratty.com. beadratty.com. The promo code is SGS30. You get 30% off. We're thrilled, obviously, to have them with us again in 2026. Go ahead.
Awesome stuff. I gotta get some of the coastal collection.
It's good. I don't want to say they've come a long way, but we've watched them. It was polos and quarter zips. Obviously, they still do that as well as anyone, better than anyone. And so I really like some of the different stuff they're making, style stuff they're making. So
diversifying.
SGS 30% off. All right, let's go to the DP World Tour where P. Reed back in the winner's circle. 2 dominant victories on both sides of both tours this weekend. He went into the final round up 4. I believe he won by 4. It got somewhat close with David Puig. Then Puig made a few bogeys. Reed made some birdies. And he was laying up on 17, laying up on 18. It wasn't really close. And Patrick Reed wins by 4 at the Hero Dubai Desert
You're
Classic.
bearing the lead here.
What lead?
The Bumblebee.
I mean,
he's marching towards the Ryder Cup.
Immaterial.
We talked about this last fall. He's marching towards the 2020 7 Ryder Cup.
There's a long way to go. Speaking of,
now, how many Europeans are playing better than Bumblebee right now?
It doesn't matter in January of 2026. I don't care if it's 1, but there will be 12 by September 27. I know that.
I hope the Bumblebee just jams you.
I'm a Bumblebee appreciator. I always loved the Bumblebee. He's got some spunk, but come on. Patrick Reed, if we wanted the P Cup to get a little juice, I mean, this is a guy, again, a long way till September of 26, but
here's a guy.
I was thinking there was super possible as out of about like 4 or 5 o'clock today that Chris Collinsworth was going to have to be just like caping for Jared Stidham and Sam Darnold in a week from now. NBC, all fired up. It's the biggest year in NBC sports. They're getting like Olympics and Super Bowl in February. And they're going to have Jared Stidham. Like, here's a guy. This guy, he wasn't, he's called up. And I was just wondering how they're going to like speak glowingly about Stidham. And then Darnold, there's the comeback story. It would just kind of would be a clunker of a matchup on paper. Anyways, Patrick Reed would be great in the President's
Cup. I don't know what's worse for PJ. Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl, former Jets quarterback.
I would die for Sam Darnold. Nothing about Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl is a negative for me. It's vindication, and doing it against the Patriots is going to make my life dramatically different.
PJ, can you tell the story? Where did you tell the story? Was that just to me on an internal call about getting Sam Darnold's autograph at Shinnecock? Or was that on the pod?
It was just to you.
No, tell the story of getting Sam Darnold's autograph. And
full disclosure, we don't know if they're going to win.
No, we don't.
No.
We don't currently know that. At 7:40.
Tell your quick Sam Darnold and big time in Josh Allen saying thanks, but no thanks. All right,
sure.
Please.
I mean, it's pretty much just a story. Sam Darnold and Josh Allen are at the 2018 U.S. Open. They had both just gotten drafted by their respective teams at this
You're
point.
What, like 12 years old at this point? You're a young whippersnapper.
I'm a freshman in college. The Jets just drafted Sam. I think we're going to go to the Super Bowl. I think what is currently happening to somebody else is about to happen to me. Obviously, it does not. Me and my buddy, where on Sunday we pump into Sam and Josh Allen. We go, oh my God, big Jeff fans. This is great. Take a picture with Sam. And in the background, I noticed like hours later, Josh Allen is in the background of the photo, giving a thumbs down, photo bombing this video. And then Sam's like, oh, I'll sign your ticket whenever we give it to him. And Josh Allen, the MVP of the league, some have said.
The best football player in the world at the moment, but not necessarily that.
Some have said that, but sure, fine.
All right.
Says to me, he's like, hey, you want me to sign it too? And I go, no, thanks, we're good. We're good.
I just
want my guy. I'm good.
Was he pissed about this?
You know what?
No, I mean he loved it because then he photobombed the picture. It was hilarious. It's a hilarious picture. But I was like, no thanks, I'm good.
You know what? You might be able to say in 2 weeks that you have you selected
true.
The only Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah, I might have. Again, never wrong, crazy. Just early. Some have said. So
that's crazy.
No thanks. I'm good, Josh. Not interested.
Oh, you're at Shinnecock turning down Josh Allen autograph offers. I love it. Anyways, I don't know how we got there, but Patrick Reed wanted Dubai. I would love to get him on the President's Cup. I don't know. Probably not eligible. Seems like at worst he's going to be a DP World Tour member. And I don't think that's enough to qualify. I think you got to be a PGA Tour member. He wins in Dubai. Great to have playoff P back, or I guess that's Cantlay. Patrick Reed. It's great to have him back. In the winner's circle.
And maybe back.
Interesting. That comes out. A quote after the Brooksy stuff says, it's the best tour. He then says, he gets kind of pressed about it in the post-game winners press conference. Like there's this like sort of meandering navigation that ends with him saying he's basically a free agent. He thinks he might play LIV Riyadh, but he's not sure. Paperwork's not done. He talks of he might play the full year on the DP World Tour, try to be a top 10 race to Dubai points leader to win his PGA Tour card back that way. Quote, if I ended up not playing on LIV this year, obviously it'd be one of those things that I would be out here playing most on this tour, the DP World Tour, and trying to secure one of those spots. Super interesting. Of his win, he's like, this was a big moment of pride for me because, he's never won a DP World Tour event. He's like, I've won 3 technically, but they were WGCs and a major. So I wanted to win on every tour. P has his issues and they are long standing and the list is long, but he's kind of just a golf sicko, like a golf tragic. Like the guy just loves the ball, loves to play ball. Well, he's going to Bahrain to play next week. And he's just a golf sicko. Like he wants to win on the DP World Tour. He wants that credit on the resume. And now he's maybe going to be a full-time DP World Tour member. What did you make of this, Andy? Pretty kind of a bombshell, I guess, with Riyadh 2 weeks away or something?
I'd love to understand where the dispute is. I think one of the best storylines we could get in golf would be Patrick Reed grinding away on the European Tour, trying to earn that top 10 exemption onto the PGA Tour. I mean, he's 29 in the world right now. What's the OWGR for signature events? Isn't there some OWGR
30.
exemption? What
30.
is it?
30. So he's in.
So he's in signature events.
He's not
with that exemption, with that top 30.
Yeah. He's likely he's almost, unless something crazy happens, he's probably going to be in the PGA and US Open, which he wasn't yet. US Open's top 60.
Yeah. So he's 20. So he's 29.
Yeah.
After this week.
Seems like he's going to play some more DP World Tour events. Like it would be a pretty catastrophic to fall outside of. I don't even know if it's possible, but so he's likely in those majors.
Better question though: is he qualified for the Open yet?
That's a good question. He'll go and find a way. He'll go play one of those Open qualifying series events in Macau or something like
Marcel
that.
C might be in, but P. Reed's not.
Yeah. Look, if you're LIV, not an ideal situation to have this out in the open now with a couple weeks to go and him saying what he says about the tour. DJ re-upping for 3 years. P maybe not. Bryson seems to be, playing leverage games. I guess all I'd say is, and I mean, Patrick Reed is basically like, I don't know. He doesn't seem enthusiastic about LIV. That's all I can read. Is like, I might not play there.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you think DJ has a backup plan in mind for the Aces if P leaves?
No.
Do you think
I don't,
DJ?
No, I don't think he's thinking like that.
He's been scouting young players. Knows who he wants to extend an offer to.
No, I don't think he's thinking that way. I don't think he's grinding tape. I don't think he's got a draft board. No, I don't. But
do you think we could also start? I saw Jay Kokrak was in Cleveland this weekend, right?
I got a tip off from some people that work at that municipal or that Metro Parks course that he was coming to hit balls in 5 feet of snow.
I feel like he should be announced now as like the primary equity holder of Smash.
Smash, yeah. Whatever that equity is worth, he has it. But I guess my point with LIV, and it's not a great spot to be, but they kind of got in bed with a certain kind of player, a certain kind of player for hire. And it's sort of the Lane Kiffin situation, like, when you can't make a housewife. These players are going to then come back when it's time to negotiate, like it's the same person. And you might be put on blast, and they're ready to go back to the other way. It's not like a ton of... anyways.
Not to mention that they just played, let's just say P. Reed got $50 million and he played 4 years for $50 million. If you don't give him anything, that's like, well, I just got 4 years for $50 million.
Peace. Thank you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time here. I don't think he has any great sense of obligation to the Aces. I think he had a sense of obligation to the contract.
Come on. He has to have a sense of obligation to the Aces and all the fans that they made that first year.
Everybody knows.
Maybe that's ever let down Ace Nation?
He might not. He might actually enjoy the team. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. But obviously, if seems like he's kind of intrigued by the idea of not playing there and playing on the DP World Tour. We'll see what happens. He's got a big win, Dubai Desert Classic.
The P. Reed going and doing the Euro Tour to PGA Tour route, but then recanting like Laurie Cantor, following the Cantor path would be the best outcome. If he does this year where he sits out of LIV and then gets a contract offer back in the next year.
Yep.
After earning PGA Tour card.
We've always said, like, it's good to have him play. He was like a ghost there for the first few years he left. But, like, Patrick Reed, the golfer, the golf is among the best to watch. The guy doesn't have all the, like, God-given ability, but he's a magician with some of the stuff from shot making and around the greens. So hopefully he's good. It's good to have him if he's playing well at Augusta. We'll see.
I mean, to be 29, I think, like, the other thing about P, there's like a great longevity story with P. Reed. I mean, so 29, if we do 29, what's 29 as a LIV player in the world rankings? Crazy. Is that like 14 in actuality?
Yeah, he plays a lot, but not big points events besides this one.
So if we call him like the 14th best player in the world, and, you know, he's been doing it now for, 15 years?
Yeah, I think his first win was, I want to say 2013 Wyndham, maybe. I think. Could be wrong on that.
It's close to 15 years.
Yeah.
2011 was when he turned pro.
Okay.
So, 15 years on the dot. Which is amazing, you know?
Yep. I would.
You're at the stage 2 where you could do like a flashback on, like, he Monday qualified 6 times.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'm telling you, he's absolutely like a golf nut. He just wants to play ball everywhere, all the time. He's going to be if there's a Champions Tour, he's just going to be grinding these like Cologuard Classics, even though he doesn't need the money. I think he might be doing that.
God, how many years away from he's 35. He's 15.
I understand. I'm just hypothetical.
God,
I'm saying
there cannot be a Champions Tour in 15
he would
years.
do it. So congrats to P. I wouldn't say many of the other stars showed up in a big way out in the desert for the Desert Classic. Victor had a decent finish. I'd say the secondary story.
Disrespect.
What?
The Bumblebee disrespect.
All right, fine. The secondary story is the
What
DP.
about Frankie Molinari, T4? That's a big story.
Playing captain like Keegan at Ireland. Is that where we're going? Is he back?
Do you think he's going to be the captain?
No, but his name gets thrown out there. I don't know who's going to be the captain.
I feel like they should just let LD have a dynasty.
Yeah, that makes the most sense, actually. If it's nobody new, yeah, that's the most sense. I don't know why. Speaking of, I was thinking Padraig Harrington. Why is he doing Buffalo Trace ads in the middle of golf term? Why is he doing a Kentucky bourbon? He's an Irish. Shouldn't it be Irish? Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, he could be captain. The secondary story, DP World Tour, this Dubai Desert Classic seems to be making moves. Schupak had a little bit of a write-up on this. I think they're ready to swoop in. They want to become a co-sanctioned event, PGA Tour event. Seems like they were making a push this week, specifically with certain media outlets, with certain storylines. Obviously, they've got the LIV boys are eligible for their tournament. And the quote from the tournament director, the Schupak, said, we want to be a PGA Tour co-sanctioned event. We want to go to the next level. Is there going to be a global series that is a bit like WGCs? We'd love to be a signature event, but it's unlikely in the whole dynamics of the PGA Tour and the TV deal. But we're going to keep pushing. So if the calendar changes, and it feels like it's going to, is the century going from, January 5th to, say, this week at Torrey Pines or something like that, and it starts late or starts after the Super Bowl, feels like DP World Tour is doing a little dance for roll-up here, or at least this specific tournament is dancing for roll-up. Like, get us a co-sanctioned deal, global event.
It's definitely an interesting topic. Is that where you want the PGA Tour season to start?
No, I'm not sure it would necessarily be like PGA Tour, like it would just be co-sanctioned. Maybe it doesn't look a lot different than what it is now. You just get a little more. There was there was a noticeable effort this week to make it feel a little bit more like, I don't know, the event of the week or the PGA, more American presence, I would say.
What do you think were those things that made it feel that way?
More media, more. I thought it was interesting. Like Danny Rappaport went over there. He was doing a bunch of interviews. Schupak's over there doing stuff. He's writing an article with the tournament director who's saying we want to go next level. Feels like a calculated story, messaging. And just the very real out in the open secret that the PGA Tour schedule is likely going to be cut at the first quarter, the start of the year.
Do you think those journalists got out there on their own dime?
What are you trying to do to me right now? I have no idea.
I'm just asking questions.
I have no idea. Typically, players and many others in the Middle East are rarely on their own dime in this century. That's just a common thing. There's been a lot of junkets taken to the Middle East for many reasons. Media, course art designers, players for events. There's a lot of.
I can attest.
I have no idea, though.
Bet offered all expense trip to Dubai.
God, what was the one? I got one for Turkey. I think the Turkish Airlines open. Like, oh my God. Anyways, Abu Dhabi. I know that's been another one that's had people out for sure. Anyways, no, I don't know that, but it's an interesting future potential schedule that's more global, as we've always heard. Champions Tour, PJ, tell me what happened here. Stu Cink wins Saturday night.
That is what happened. Kind of just ran away with it. You just talked about Francisco Molinari potentially being a playing captain. I would submit that the Americans might find themselves in a position where playing captaincy might be back on the table, because Stu Cink is just out there dominating. My favorite part, post-round interview, he was like, yeah, I'm just happy I came out here and play well because I'm not going to play for another 2 months. What? So when you got your biggest star on the circuit currently, cleaning up, but no, I'm good. See you in 2 months or so. Kind of funny to me. Imagine if Scotty was just like, yeah, see you at the players, see you after the players. So that's what you missed. It was good to have everybody on site. Zinger, Papa, Schupak, shout out. Great article about how the Champs Tour needs to be on site, and the $1 billion studios ain't cutting it for Zinger and Papa.
I got to push back on that. That was not a great article. It was a totally unnecessary article that didn't need to exist. I'm kidding. I love it. I'm not like this is the biggest crisis the world now faces: on-site broadcasting of Champions Tour events, because that's what that article made it feel like.
How else are we going to know if Tommy Gainey's been using the same two gloves all year?
I couldn't believe
that was an incredible line. That was an incredible line.
That is from Peter Jacobsen. Said, what is lost is the human relationships and being able to work the range, quote, for good nuggets. We might find out that Tommy Two Gloves has used the same pair of gloves all season because he's superstitious. Or that Ernie Els broke his driver's shaft and is using a backup, Jacobsen said.
I mean, it's incredible. You can't put a price on that. You actually can't put a price on that.
You think Roll-Up reads that? He's like, I'm sold. PJ production needs to be on site.
I mean, I hope so.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
What? I haven't seen like an uptick in production from the $1 billion like
no, as
content
explained,
studio.
As explained in the article, actually it got worse.
It got worse, which, their gripes are legitimate on that point. There was apparently last year a 3-second delay, totally untenable.
Early on, it was really bad. It was really bad.
I just got to call into question, like that whole building, like what's it being used for? Other than the drop, which, we see the drop. I don't know what else is going on there.
Well, there's Neil Shipley content coming, I believe. In the article it said it was
Pro Shop boys all have their own offices.
They said it's 165,000 square feet. Every time I read that in the article, I was like, I cannot believe that.
Do you think they're going to open up a co-working space eventually, and then should we jump in?
Maybe just local Jacksonville people.
Yeah.
Just
team meetings in Jacksonville so we can use some of the fancy equipment that just sits there collecting dust every day.
Well, also mentioned in the Schupak article, they're going to be Champs Tour is up from 2 events used drones last year. Now we got 11 on the Champs Tour this year. So you think Bobby Mack hates the drones? Wait until the old get a taste of the drones. That could be incredible. It's
they might not be able to hear them though.
That's also possible.
I got a question for you, PJ, former NFL executive.
Oh boy,
was the NFL ever chesty about their like content studios?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh,
Not
yeah.
publicly though, right? Can I just Google articles about it?
They're
LA.
They're very proud of the SoFi complex for sure, where they do the Good Morning Football from now and like the Red Zone show. They're very proud of the SoFi complex.
But they've shut it down. They've essentially shut down NFL Network. But ESPN brought it, I guess.
Yes. But they enjoy being outside of the NFL. Takes great pride in SoFi. I know you guys have the dome article coming or whatever. I understand the sentiment, but also like SoFi is a real testament to like human achievement. It's like really cool. And
not the bank,
I get it.
but the center, the
center, not the dome, not the dome, the stadium.
Okay, all right.
A lot of people are calling for me to apologize about my Boston weather take.
I think you were off on Boston. I do. As someone who lived there, and we dealt with some jumbo snowstorms when I was there, like big boys, 27 inches and this and that. I didn't really see a lot of parallel, overhype or paralysis in Boston.
Friend of the program, John Isekwich, just sent me a video of a plow getting stuck on a street.
That happens.
It does happen.
Real story.
You guys hanging in there with the big storm?
There wasn't a big storm. I'm fine. They've already called off school for Tuesday. They called it Sunday at 3 p.m. They called it off. And I was told so families could plan. I was like, plan for what? Potentially perfect good roads, or they could have a normal day. Why are we planning? Why are we planning?
You got to buy your museum tickets and take the roads to the museum instead of
bullshit. It's ridiculous. We got 5 inches, I think, but a lot of sleet. They said it would have been 20 inches if the sleet didn't come. Well, the sleet did come, so you can't say, you had a 20-inch forecast.
It could have been so much worse, though. You have no idea.
PJ, are you live on Long Island?
Alive. My favorite line was from the news the other night was overnight. It didn't really start snowing until like 5 or 6 a.m. today, but overnight, don't worry, it was still snowing, but it was evaporating between the clouds and the ground, so you didn't know it was snowing. But don't worry, it was snowing all night, but it didn't make it down.
That doesn't count. That's not snowing.
That's what I heard, is that it was just going away in the air, but it was snowing.
Wild.
Oh yeah, we're making it. We'll be all right. I don't have anything. I had all these quotes from that article with Jacobsen pissed off, saying that
it was incredible. It was incredible.
Other news: JT is eyeing a Florida swing return. He tweeted like rehab's going, progressing, planning, eyeing Florida swing for his return. Which I don't know if that's sooner than I thought, but either way, that's good that he'll be back and ready to go. Nicholas Colsaerts, Josh Carpenter said maybe going to LIV broadcast. I haven't seen a lot about that other than from Carpenter. And the LIV Awards, you called it on Jon Rahm winning Clutch Putt of the Year despite not winning an event. Did you have the envelope beforehand? Did you have were you leaked results? What?
No, it was when it's called crosses the Rubicon. I mean, that he had a great chip, as I remember, to win the team championship. It was so clear as day he was going to get it. They couldn't give it to Joaquin Neiman 10 times, like every award.
Caddy of the Year was Adam Hayes.
It's just a made-up
show.
It's not like people voted on that. It's not like anybody voted. It's the same thing as their draft. It's just a sham way to give some players some recognition because that all the players are probably saying nobody cares about anything we do anymore, and they're probably upset about it. So I think I have no inside information, but this is totally how I see this awards show coming to be. Is Jon Rahm being like, oh, I've never been so irrelevant. This is all your fault. You know, you told me you were going to do all this stuff and you haven't done it. And then they took that feedback, huddled up and said, what if we did an award show?
I think they have some creative production people, and they probably came up with this. Like, why don't we try this? I think they do have some creative media production people. But yeah, it was, Bob Does Sports won an Influencer of the Year. Concert of the Year was Dom Dalla down at LIV Golf Adelaide. They won the Concert of the Year.
You know what will be this year?
What's that?
Luda.
I think I'm surprised Bryson's intro in Dallas for whatever band that was, the Howard Dean intro, didn't win social media moment of the year. That would have been my pick.
Dick Bland got Approach of the Year, so I'm glad he's got that. That'll go up on the mantle with some of his senior majors. He gets Approach Shot of the Year.
That's right.
Those are your LIV Awards. I can't believe you called it with Rahm winning Clutch Player of the Year.
That's so obvious. That was not hard to call.
It doesn't make.
I think they might have added that afterwards.
Like
we have to give Jon Rahm one.
All right, that does it for this Monday episode of the Shotgun Start. Any other cleanup? Any other takes you need to get out there before we move on? No. All right. Zinger just going after the hand that feeds him. Not great. I mean, the PGA Tour Productions, they're the ones that employ him to call the senior tour events, and he's just crushing them. Crushing them.
I love it. Doesn't care.
All right, that does it for this Monday episode. We'll talk to you on Wednesday. Brooksy returns, I think. Torrey Pines, good week ahead. Talk to you on Wednesday.